See, can I do that? I'm not sure if I can do that. Let me bring that forward a little bit. Maybe I can do that. Can y'all see me? Let me go like this. Oh man, the plane all up in my face. All right, let me see. Oh, what's up? It's people out there. It's people. What's going on, people? It's people out there. That's cool. That's cool, man. How y'all doing? I figured everybody would be asleep tonight. Now, I'm here in the jungle. And, of course, I had to get my jade plant going because I can't be in a video without a plant. It's so dark in here. I'm not sure. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. That was a phone call that came through. I've never done a video late at night at home. I'm sitting here with nothing to do. So I figured I'd just jump on here and see what was going on. Oh, man. Hell of a day. Hell of a day. And guess what? I got my Frankie Lyman shirt on, y'all. This is my Frank, baby, one minute. You see, y'all don't even know who Frankie Lyman is, so I'm not even going to take y'all there. It's too deep. Y'all are just too young to understand Frankie. And, but it was funny. I used to, I do have a video. I have the video. I was dancing around. My oldest son and we used to dance around to Frankie Lyman. It was the craziest thing, you know. But, anyway. I got the video, and so I with all my kids, I have videos for their wedding days, right? And his video is probably going to be with us dancing. We were dancing around a circle to Frankie Lyman. He was like a toddler. It was incredibly funny. And I got one son. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you his name, but I got him. But I was sitting on the bed one day, and my other kids that came in, they were like, "Dad, he's on the toilet singing." And I guess he might have been about 6 at the time. And so, of course, being the very religious and professional family we are, we grabbed the camera phones and we ran in there real quick and put it in the corner of the crack of the door. And so his wedding day is going to be full of a video with him on the toilet at the age of 6 singing. But anyway, it was cute. It was funny. But anyway. All right. I don't really have a ton to talk about. Well, actually I do, but it's late and I'm not on coffee, so y'all are seeing me at my worst. But it's kind of been a crazy day. It's special. Get pulled into conversations and you try to talk to people. I am having some really special moments, though, with our brothers and sisters in the Democratic hate groups. Democrat and Republican hate groups, I think that's what they go by. I love them to death. But I'm tickled, y'all. I'm just tickled that the hate groups are all fighting. They're all fighting each other. Like, it boggles my mind that hating somebody over skin, which is 24 genes, mind you. It's 24 genes and 25,976. 24 of those genes. That some people hate me and probably hate you because of that. And other people hate other people because they were born over top of oil fields and they blow the hell out of them and they vitrify them. They all kind of want to burn you up. One kind of burns you from the stake, and the other wants to burn crosses, and the other wants to burn you from drone bombs and stuff. And I just find it crazy. It's crazy talk to pull me into the conversation. I'm the wrong one. You have to go talk to the other people over there. Pull them into that conversation, because I wholeheartedly believe in calling people on their BS. I believe in it. It's like when we were kids, there was a game we used to call, it was called BS. We started playing that game and we never stopped playing that game. So in terms of contradictions, I don't do them. I don't do contradictions. So if you come to my house and you want to talk about people eating apple pie, damn it, you better not have a slice in your mouth. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't have any love or hate for any of the groups. As long as y'all peaceful Everybody's cool with me. Hey, listen, I don't care if you like me. You don't have to like me. If you want to work together to do some good stuff, then we can work on that. But in terms of like the contradictions and being hypocritical, and if hate group is defined by the count of people you murdered, Democrats and Republicans, don't say nothing. Don't just sit down. Just go like this. Go like this. Go like this and sit down. Can y'all even hear me? I don't know if I should put my microphone on, but if y'all murdering people, just go like this. Don't shh. No, that you know, you want to tear down some statues. I guess that's up to you. I will not be at the rally. I will not be posting it on my page. I will not be liking it. I'm not judging you. All I'm saying is, that's the wrong thing. I can't say that. I won't say that. But just think a little bit. Think a little bit before you say certain things. What's Sister Kim talking about? Evolution is going in the wrong direction. We're becoming primitive again. You know, Kim, I don't know. Have we ever stopped being primitive? Like, I don't know. I don't think that did we ever really evolve? Like, I think we tell ourselves that we evolve socially, but have we? I mean, look at some of the craziness that we do. You know, I try to keep it light, but I think about some of the crazy things that I've not witnessed, but I've read about in my life. And we are a nation that have some very special people in it. And the insanity and the things we do, you can't convince me we evolved. We can't. I think that I think we need to evolve, and I think we need to get back on that path of social evolution, but it involves a whole lot of healing. It involves a whole lot of empathy and love and things that we seem to have a lot of trouble with. What's that? We have Donald Trump as a president that says it's see, no, Sister Dana, you're not gonna pull me in that conversation. Listen. In terms of our president, I don't have anything to say, and I avoid the conversations at all costs. I do, mainly because I get up to an extent where, you're pulling me into I don't want to be in that conversation. I'm sorry. I can't. Why? Because there's too much. I think there's too much we all have to do, and going in and slamming Trump is something that I'm not going to do. I didn't slam Obama. I'm not going to slam Trump. Now I'll make some jokes, and I will point out contradictions to people, but I try to stay out of that because it didn't work too well with Bush, and it didn't work too well with Obama, right? Like, we went through this nonsense with Bush, and at the end of his term, he started bombing, he started all these wars, killing all these people. And at the end of his term, you would think if we were a logical nation, we all would have said, you're foul. We didn't do that because you had groups of people who supported Bush up to the last moment. And so that was bad. But then what happened with Obama is, he dropped more bombs than any president in history ever. Now, mind you, he didn't start no war. He did. He didn't start the wars McCain would have started, but he still did some horrible stuff. And to the very end, people cheered, supported him, loved him, and the lunacy, like, it just keeps going on. So I'm going to try to do my role, and I'm going to stay out of identity politics, because when you say names, you already upset people. And in terms of how do I keep friends on both sides, is I avoid the identity politics. I understand, how people feel. These elections have gotten to a point where what they do is they convince you to put all of your hope in a politician. And when you're dealing with a large amount of people, you know, in a suffering economy with lots of fear going on, and they put all their hope in a politician, you know, you go and say something negative about that politician, you've already, like, you've lost them. You know, there's not going to be any dialogue. They're already pissed off at you. You're pissed off at them. And then the words and names start flying, and we can't. This is how we lose. This is the strategy. This is how they bomb and invade the world, because people don't know how to talk to each other. So I'm personally going to get off of that train. So I'm not gonna go there. So, man, I think I had a few things. I guess I had a few things I want to throw out there. All right. Oh, so I'm gonna get in trouble. It's time to get in trouble. So yeah, I mostly associate with the Libertarian Party, I guess, but I've been watching some videos by this cat. What is his name? This brother, he's throwing down some serious stuff, and also my heart is dear with brother Ron Paul. All right, I won't go through I won't put his name out there right now, but I'll just simply say this: I am sorry. I'm wrong, people. I'm wrong. I will say when I'm wrong, and I'm wrong. I debated a lot of you guys on capitalism. And see, the great thing about root cause analysis, when you look at the root of a problem, it will highlight everything that is not the solution, right? So we know greed is the root of every problem in our country, perhaps every problem in our world. And so if greed is the root of every problem, then, man, these libertarians, they're going to take my card on this. Woo. Just think about it for a minute. Before you get mad at me, brothers, think about it. If greed is the root of every problem we have, then how can we have a capitalism style of government? Like, how does that work? Hey, Sister Kathy, how you doing? Capitalism saved us, right? Like, I'll talk about what's positive, right? The free market system and capitalism. It is what saved us. It totally, like World War I, we would all be speaking German right now. We would all be, well, okay, and by we, I don't mean me. Me, I'd probably be in like a coal mine somewhere, you know, because, you know, well, the Americans, they would have me in the cotton field, but the Germans would have put me in a coal mine somewhere. And so I'm not even sure I'm going to say we, but most of the people in this country would be speaking German if it wasn't for capitalism, those of who weren't killed. So capitalism can create an immensely powerful government. It can create an immensely powerful country. However, it will always, if it's greed-based and not more incentive-based, it will always end up in a place where the greedy will thrive. Like the thing I used to talk about and debate with y'all about, and I apologize, because I'm changing my position. I am. And it's not anti-capitalism, though. It's this system doesn't work. I think the names get us in trouble, too. Like, I think there's identity politics. I got to get Brother Tatsu to kind of put some real intelligence around this. But there's identity politics. But then there's also, like, the style of government politics. Because if you say you don't like capitalism, you've already lost a certain segment of the audience. They're not listening. If you say you don't like socialism, you already lost some people. If you say you don't like communism, you know, and so what we have today doesn't work. It can't be based on greed. And here's the main reason why. The main reason why, where I started shifting my belief here, is if I am a robotics engineer, in which I am a robotics engineer, but let's just say if I am, No. I can't go there. If let's say I'm a doctor. Yes, this is a better example. I'm a doctor. And I'm gonna try to come into light for y'all so my 24 genes don't, doesn't scare anybody. Oh, nope, it's getting scary again. Hold on. My 24 genes and 25,000, because y'all like to call me by those 24 genes. Forget the other 25,000 in my body. The fact that my liver could be Irish and my knee could be German and my big toe could be Aborigine, and but I got these 25 genes that color my skin, so y'all want to call me by that. Anyway, I go off in tangents and I lose my train of thought. So, but this is the deal. So, say I'm a doctor. If we have a society that's based on money, based on currency, then it means that I'm going to go into the field that gives me the most currency, right? Like I'm going to go into the field that gives me, my family, my kids, ability to thrive in that environment. So I'm going to go into a field that's not necessarily my passion, not something I care about, not something I'm even going to do well. It's something I'm going to just kind of do to get the money. And when you think about things from a solutioning and quality perspective, our society, in order to thrive, it can't, like the reason we go into critical fields can't be for money. It can't be, because we're going to go into those fields for the wrong reason. You'll have some people who, they'll go off and be, whatever and not care about money. But I think the majority of people, especially in a consumer-based society, are all going to go do something that makes money, which means that the best doctors we won't have, the best lawyers we won't have. Oh, no, that's a bad example. We don't need no lawyers. Never mind. Throw that out. The best doctors we won't have. The best dentists we won't have. The best politicians we will never get. The best software engineer will, because no one's doing it because they love it. And so what we have doesn't work. What we have absolutely doesn't work. I'm trying to find the light. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in the jungle. I'm going to have to move this light a little bit. Oh, look, there you go. Look at it. 24 genes lighting up. There you go. Hold on. Wait, hold on. All right. So I'm not, oh man, there we go. That's creepy. I will never do another nighttime live video here because I look like a dirty old man. And I look like I've been eating chicken because my face is shining and that, I got some racism for y'all. I got some, when we were kids, we could never be shiny enough for our parents. They would take this stuff. It's a carcinogen called baby oil. And no matter where you go, you could be going to the zoo, you could be going to school, you could be going, it doesn't matter. And your mama would take a bunch of baby oil and she'd dump it in her hands and she just like all like this. And now your head, your forehead is shining, and your face is, and your cheeks look all nasty and just greasy. Outside of the fact that it's a carcinogen, but you would just look all greasy like you just had like a big plate of chicken. That's some racism. And this is what black people did to black people. But I did. Man, I miss the 80s. Y'all, we could talk about anything back then. Comedians need to save us. I think I'm going to start posting some racist comedian jokes. I think I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to lose a whole bunch of friends. But I think I'm going to start posting some racist, just racist, just funny as hell, 1980s, 1970s, Whoopi Goldberg, Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, like all the people who just would never let us take ourselves too seriously. I think I'm going to start posting that. I think it's time for me to lose some friends. That's what I think. I think y'all take yourselves way too seriously, and that's really what's wrong in this country. Is they're overly sensitive people. And oh dang it, I can't even see my thread. There we go. All right, I couldn't see y'all was probably commenting, talking about me and my mama and stuff. I couldn't even see. So I have to apologize. I have changed my position, and your politicians flip-flop all the time. So yes, Red Fox, brother Kevin. Yes, Red Fox. I'm gonna put some oh, I don't know if I can do Red Fox. Hold on, Kevin. Hold on. Whoa, pull up, brother, because Red Fox. Woo! Man, my man Chris and I, boy, his father used to have some Red Fox records, boy. We used to go in the basement. We'd put, oh man, how old was I? I was probably 14. I learned words that at 14 you're not ever supposed to know. At 14, oh man, Red Fox, he had no filters. You think Donald Trump doesn't have filters? Oh, you go listen to some Red Fox. Oh, that brother, he just put it out there and just made it raw and raunchy as possible. So that's a nasty brother. I can't post that, Kevin. I got kids on my profile, man. They drag me out, put me in prison. I can't do that. But yes, Brother Bruce, I'm going to go with some Richard Pryor. I think I'm going to put some Richard Pryor out there. Because I think, you know what? I think we got to get to a point where we desensitize the kids. Like, right now, there's so many just overly sensitive kids, and they're not seeing the fun in politics and life and all of this. Like, I think when people don't take their politicians so seriously, I think we can keep them in check more. I think that's why the last generations did better at keeping them in check, because no one wanted to fight you over their politician. Like it was, you know, Carlin, Sister Laura, I put George Carlin out. I haven't posted a George Carlin in a while. I haven't put that out there because Carlin nails it. If y'all don't listen to George Carlin, you got to. Just going out to YouTube, type in George Carlin. That brother was a prophet. He was a prophet. You can't tell me George Carlin wasn't touched by God. That brother is a prophet. He saw all of this coming. He spoke on all of it. And that's probably why they killed him. I know I'm putting a little conspiracy theory out there. I have a conspiracy theory bone in me, and I'll put it out there. I think he got a little too close to the truth, and they had to get rid of him. So, yes, Katie. Yes, Sister Katie. Politicians have to be scrutinized. We got to elect your politician. Fight with your neighbor. I don't care what you do. Go to your neighbor's yard and urinate on his sign for his politician. Like, I don't really care what you do during the election. Have fun with it. But when you're done and you have a president, we're all supposed to go back to criticizing. You know, when they walk on stage, you're not supposed to be clapping and singing and yelling and screaming like it's Michael Jackson, because you look dumb and crazy as the kids in the video screaming for Michael Jackson. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Elect your politician and immediately go into critiquing the hell out of him. Why? Because that's what our parents did. And that's what our parents' parents did. And that's why they only got a quarter screw. Why we are getting the full screw. We're not getting a reach around. We're not getting a kiss. We're not getting Vaseline. I know. I'm tired. This is why I can't do videos in the evening, because I get tired. When you get tired, you get a little, hey, Brother William, what's going on? Well, yeah, I know. I got my Frankie Lyman shirt on. This shirt, I used to, I'm not even sure where this came from. To be honest with you, I used to dance around with my son. I was talking about, we used to sing Frankie Lyman, but when he was a kid, he won't remember that. But I got some video of it, so I'm going to embarrass the hell out of him later. So, yeah, well, you know what? I get the 9/11, but I don't miss the pre-9/11 world. Like, there's some great things back there, but there's some horrible things too. I miss the day after 9/11 world. That's what I miss. I miss it might even be the day of, the afternoon, the evening. You know why? Because the world stopped and Americans put down all of their nonsense. And those images are in our heads and we'll never forget. I remember I was working for the Merchant of Death at that time. I was working for, I won't say the name, but boy, I was working for a drug dealer. I was working for an international drug dealer. Boy, we was killing people and selling drugs. And, of course, we were traded on the stock market. So, and I remember everybody just started running upstairs. I was trying to figure what the hell is going on. Everybody ran upstairs, dropped their work, put down the people who worked on the help desk and the operators, the programmers. Everybody ran up to the TV and we're watching the trade centers fall. And as devastating as all of that was, when you saw all of those faces coming out of the World Trade Center and they were all gray as hell, you could not see the 24 genes that code their skin that you people are so freaking lost in, and you couldn't see those 24. They were covered. And we were all one people. We were one. Now, mind you, it was probably one for the wrong damn reason, because they hit the World Trade Centers because that was a target on the financial center of the world and the banks, and they were trying to send a message to us, but we weren't listening. I think some of us are listening now, but the point was, we know how to come together and we know how to put away this ignorance. And this is why you can't tell me that any of this hate that y'all displaying is genetic. You can't tell me that any of y'all's hate and disgust you have for other people is real. That's manufactured. That's what's it called? Superficial outrage. That's what all that BS is. You get online and you want to superficially be outraged. It's BS. Because when something happens, we're all one family. So you can't tell me that you believe in any of these narratives. You don't. It's BS. And you know it's BS. But you have an agenda, and I get that. But that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to break through some of that agenda that y'all have. So I guess what's happening is, I guess we're going to be bombing the Philippines now. I guess we're going to be bombing Venezuela. Venezuela joined the list. I forgot. So, selective outrage, Brother Bruce. Thank you. It's selective outrage. And like, I'm pick and choose when I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad because you don't like somebody for their 24 genes, but I'm not going to say nothing because I hate them because I want the oil that they were born over, so I can murder millions of them. But boy, you talk about murdering one person who got those 24 genes, I'm going to be selectively outraged and angry at you. I know, a lot of people watch that number drop, like, oh, we mad at him, we mad. That's okay, you can drop, I'm good with that. I'm not here to make anybody happy. I'm here to talk about the truth, and if the truth hurts, then so be it. But I'm a parent. I got kids, man. I do give a damn. I give lots of I give many damns. I do. But I give most damns. I give many damns about you. But I give most damns about the future of the world we leave to these kids. So we got to call it for the truth. And if the other side is calling truth, we can't go and pretend. We got to be honest. And so I'm all about being honest. Thank you, Sister Gretchen. You feel me, girl. Yes, this is my Jade. This is my baby. This is one of them. She was dying. There was a doctor who died. That didn't sound right. But he died. He passed away. He had a big old greenhouse, and I didn't know what kind of jade this was, and so I harvested a whole bunch of stuff out of there. I got some stuff out of there wasn't supposed to get too, but that's another story. And so this is my baby Jade. I'm nursing her back to life. So what else can we do? Oh, it's something I got to look up. I don't know anything about it. Somebody put it on to me, but the selfish gene. I don't know anything about the selfish gene, and I love science. And so I know that it has a lot to do with the genetics that get passed forward, like, because science is everything. You got to get down to some of the facts. Like, I know my religious brothers and sisters are like, science, you know, and my scientific brother, and every time I say something religious, the science side, they're like, religion, you know. I think y'all all a little special, just a little bit, y'all, just a little bit, not a lot of mental illness, but just got a little bit, just a little click. And if we can get that gene to click back and get some of y'all to realize that science and religion are the same damn thing, you'll see what I'm talking about, right? Like, every ancient culture said all the same stuff. They said it different ways. They gave it different names. But for the most part, they all talked about something that came out of the sky. So, North Korean sanctions. This is another retarded... Y'all just going to have to deal with some of my words. I grew up this way. This is just another ridiculous, ridiculous thing. Sanctions are war. Sanctions are war. I'm going to say it one more time if it's not sinking in. Sanctions are war. When you launch sanctions against a country, you are declaring war on that country. You are not hurting the regimes that you want to change. You are not hurting anybody but the lowest of the low. Because in any society, America being a wonderful example, goes into horrible, bad times, the people on the bottom are the worst to feel it. The people on the bottom are always the worst to feel it. If you develop a prison class, I got to say it this way so y'all understand it. If you develop a prison class and you got a group of people who came out of something, I don't know, let's just call it slavery. They're going to be on the bottom. A lot of them are going to pull themselves up, but a lot of them are going to struggle. If you, I don't know, let's just say have something called slavery, and you've got a lot of poor non-slaves who don't want to be involved in the industry or can't get in the industry, they're going to come through this thing and they're going to be very impoverished. They're going to be the lowest of the low. And I don't know, let's say that these people end up in some things called trailer parks, and some of the rest end up in places called ghettos. You know what's going to happen when there's a lack in that society? They are going to be the lack. They are the ones who are going to hurt the most. Sanctions are designed to piss off another country's people so that they'll be angry enough to come and fight the people that you want to send to fight them. So y'all, those of y'all who are cheering for sanctions, I don't understand you. I don't process why you think this is a good thing. None of this is good. This is just how they march us into war and how they take our kids and send them overseas and get them to kill other people and screws them up, because no human being is supposed to see those type of things. So they come back with all types of warrior genes flipped. They get on clock towers. They start shooting people. Then you want to put them in prison because you didn't give them any medical care, because you don't give a damn about your veterans, but you got to support the troop sticker on the back of. I'm not going to be, I see you almost got me. I was about to be the angry black dude. I'm not going to be that. I'm the laughing one, because I think all of this is damn ridiculous. I got a few things on my list I can talk about. Unless y'all got something y'all want me to talk about. I'm just sitting and running my mouth. I'm going to try to get tired, get a little sleep tonight. But I figure I'll have a little fun come out here, because everybody's just all flipped out. Oh, another thing. So, the president, I won't say his name. I don't want nobody, as soon as I say his name, oh, he loved Trump. He gonna say something positive about Trump. And I say Trump, they're like, oh, he got 24 genes. He must hate Trump. I'm not gonna, I don't, again, not in it. But the president, he got on television. And I'm just so confused. I so confused. I confused, because he came out and he said, he condemns whatever. It's like, oh, we're mad at him because he didn't say who did it. And then he came out and made a second video the next day, and he basically said, we're gonna get those darn racists. And they were like, oh, but he waited 2 days to say it, you bastard. And then I guess today he said something else. I didn't even watch today because I was laughing too hard. This is just ridiculous to me. Like, I don't even process it. Like, maybe I need to go on Twitter. Maybe I don't understand, because I guess Obama's on Twitter too now. He's tweeting and twitting and everybody twitting back and forth. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just confused. But not on anybody's side. I would say what I want to hear from my president, because he is my president. I'm not like y'all. I voted for Jill Stein. Love her to death. Love you, girl. Love you, girl. You go, girl. I love myself some Jill Stein. Only adult who ran. And I can say that because y'all don't care. I voted for a third party. So like, he's, y'all not worried about me. Y'all like, he crazy. He voted for a third party. We're not worried about him. So I can say stuff like that. I would appreciate it, though, if the president came out and just said, you know what? We're going to look at the videotape and we're going to get him. Whoever done did violent stuff to get it going on and said something about somebody's mama, flipped out, did whatever, we going to get him. And I would be happy with it. He can just click off and go back to talking about Trump steaks or something. And that would be really cool. But like targeting, because the neoliberals are saying this and the fascists and everybody's saying different stuff in your ear and you can't figure out who to target, y'all gonna get that man a heart attack. I just think y'all should just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Wait till the investigation. But make sure you ask the critical question. Like I said, the critical question is, who the hell knew. We don't live in a world where we can hide anything. They're watching this right now. You see right there, see some of them little hearts right there? That's not a real heart. That one right there, and that's not a real heart neither. Nope, that's a CIA heart. And there's some NSA hearts, and it's a like, and there's some angry ones in there too. They watching the whole thing. We don't live in a world where they don't know every damn thing we doing and saying. Okay? They know everything. There is no crime in this country that ever happens that you actually can get away with. They let you get away with it. They know every damn thing. So what pisses me off is no one's asking the right question. And the right question is simply this. Who the hell knew? 3 of our citizens are dead, and somebody knew. One of these geeks behind a desk with a pocket protector and some glasses saw like, oh boy, it's about 500 people going to the rally, and they talking about hurting people and doing this and strategizing and causing problems. We need to get the National Guard out there. Ask the right question. Who knew? Who sat back and let this happen? I personally, I don't blame the police. I don't think that it was their fault. I think if I was a police officer and I knew Kung Fu and I knew karate, I was one of the Matrix dudes, and you put it in the back of my head, and I knew how to do all of that Kung Fu chop stuff, and I had a gun and I had a stick and all that stuff, and you put me between what, a couple of hundred neo-Nazis and white nationalists, right? I'll be fair, they all weren't Nazis, but you put me between them and they angry and mad, and you put Antifa and Black Lives Matter on the other side and they pissed off too, and you put a bunch of commentators and people with cameras. When they start yelling and screaming, man, I'm gonna put my badge down, I'm gonna walk the hell away. You think I'm crazy? Listen, no, I don't blame the police. I blame whoever knew all this was coming and didn't send out the National Guard, the NSA, the FBI, get everybody, Snoopy, their grandmama, and Winnie the Pooh, get them out there, stand between the people, let them say what they gotta say, let them scream what they gotta scream. They all done, get the hell back on the bus, get the hell out of our town. That's what should have happened. So I think we don't ask the right questions. Coming on down. So I'm calling on comedians. I think y'all need to get out there and start talking about people's mamas again. Start talking about religion. Start talking about race. Start talking, please, Dave Chappelle and some of you guys out there, please start making fun of everything, because you need people laughing again. We won't get back to being humans until people start laughing again. Yeah, Brother Michael, none of the above. I'm with you and Richard Pryor. You know what it's going to take to get me to go out and press that little voting button on the lever? You know what that's going to take? I don't know what it's going to take. You can talk about me if you want. I had fun. I went out and I voted, took the sticker, put it on my forehead, put it on the back of my phone. I was so proud who I voted for. I knew she wasn't going to win, but it was okay. I did what I felt was best for my neighbors. But to get me out there voting again, man, I can't think of anything that anybody can say that's going to be future focused enough to get me back out there. And I'm not saying I'm not voting, so don't get pissed off at me. I'm just so confused and I'm lost where we are. I can't vote for anybody that's bombing babies, planning on bombing babies, anybody putting a whole bunch of poor white and black kids in prisons. I can't vote for them. So I don't know. I can't even go there because I don't know anything about it. Crazy thing. So I was looking at the Vietnam War, and this, man, I forgot the name of the video. I would post it out there, but it was just horrible. It's crazy. And they were accounts for what happened during the war. And this is really why I'm war in every way is wrong. It's totally wrong. So in the Vietnam War, this was the account. And these were soldiers giving their accounts of what happened, some of the war crimes. The soldiers were ordered to not count the Vietnamese they took on the airplanes. And the reason they were told not to count them is because midair they used to have contests to see who could throw them the furthest out of the door. process that. Think about how evil that is. And when the plane would land, they would count the body. They would count whoever was left, because you know they would throw all the small guys first, because that's funny. It's real funny to throw people out of airplanes. And they said whoever was left, they were actually Viet Cong. But this is what war does. This is what war does. The human body is not made to take that type of stress. It's not made to see all the killing and guts being blown up in your face and you shooting children and children running at you with grenades. The human body isn't designed to take that. When that happens, that's when the temporary clicking of those warrior genes start happening, and you lose all sense of everything. You lose who you are. You have no empathy. You have very little pain, and you don't process and think the way a normal human being does. And this is why you can't, I don't blame the troops, man. I don't blame the troops when crazy stuff happens, because we don't have to deal with that. We're not over there, right? We're all sitting back living cushy lives. So war is the worst evil going. And I know I'd say it 1,000 times, and I sound like a broken record, but I don't give a damn about politics. I don't. I know sometimes y'all think, oh, he's always talking politics. He's always posting. I don't talk politics. If you're really paying attention to what I'm trying to say, it has nothing to do with any damn politics. I'm saying what I got to say because Wall Street runs our government, top to bottom, completely Democrat and Republican. And it doesn't matter who you vote for. They completely run the entire damn thing. And I don't care who runs the government, as long as they're an American. I'm good with that. As long as they are a neighbor and somebody who has to live in this country and their kids have to deal with the outcomes of these politicians. I don't care who runs the country. I'm not interested in what y'all are different. For the 99% of everybody in this country, Democrat and Republican, they all want the same damn thing. All of them. The only thing they disagree on are the ideas. And I don't think the ideas are good enough to make blood enemies over. So I think it's retarded. And so I really don't care what party runs the office, the White House in Washington. I only care that they actually be members of this country and not international boards for international corporations from Wall Street. All I care about, don't be out there killing people, because if you don't have a right to life, you have nothing. And don't be forcing people into cages, into slavery, for carrying plants, right? Slavery and human life. If we can't get human rights right, there is no politics. There's nothing to talk about, So I kind of, I get pulled into stuff here and there, and I'm like, I'll talk about capitalism now. Y'all mad at me. I'll throw that out there, but I don't care anything about politics. If our brothers and sisters don't have a right to life or to live free outside of a cage, you're not saying anything to me. I process that you got something to say and you're worried about something, but I think your priorities are wrong. If you can't agree that every human being has a right, you have no idea who you're killing. Some of these kids that y'all are bombing for oil out there in the desert, that kid might have been the next Elon Musk. That kid might have been the next president. That kid might have come up with a new water desalination process. That kid might have come up with a new grow method that feeds the entire world. You have no idea. That kid might develop warp drive. Got to throw that in there for my Star Trek peoples. You have no idea who you're killing. We as a human race on a dying planet, because let's be honest, the planet's dying. Now, it's not going to be totally dead. It's like on life support, and I think it'll always kind of bounce back long after we're gone. But from a human survival perspective, our planet is dying. It's convulsing. Mammals are dying all over the place. So I don't get into the whole, y'all want to debate who's doing what when. I don't go through all of that. The point is it's dying. If we can agree with that, we need to get it to stop dying best that we can. So you never know who you're killing. This is when there's a bar fight happening, you don't jump in the fight and not know whose side you're on. You don't know who you're fighting for. You don't know who you're hurting. You might be on the wrong side. Don't agree with these wars. And if your politicians planning the wars or they're complicit with the wars, say no. Say no. My heart would feel good if we can get to a point where we agree that hate is wrong and murder is hate. If murder is hate, then you know who the hate groups are. And that's kind of how I started this conversation, is if you are in a hate group, no matter if they wear nice suits and they smell good and they talk real nice, but they're out there voting for legislation to bomb and kill people, I don't, you know, it's I try not to say anything to piss people off. I'm not here to piss people off. That's not what I want to do. But you got to examine. You got to look inside your soul a little deeper. You have to. I could care less if 200 people are yelling and screaming that I'm a monkey and I got blood in my brain and my brain doesn't work. Why do I care? Why? My brain works, man. I work for some of the biggest corporations on this planet. And I gave all that up because that's crazy. Because I don't want to support any of that. I know that all of that supports slavery somewhere in this world. I gave all of that up. You know, you got to check your soul, man. All right. So got a little too heavy, got a little too serious, but you know, I think we got to think about these things. The world doesn't hate us because we're pretty. The world doesn't hate us because they're jealous. The world doesn't hate us because of our freedoms. The world hates us because we killed them. And I give the world a whole lot of credit. I do. Because the world is being patient with us. They could do all types of things to try to get back at Americans, drinking our unicorn lattes and driving our fancy cars and living a good life while we bomb them back to the Stone Ages. I give the world credit. They're being patient. And so I'm just trying to do my part best that I can. I know that we disagree. You know, I disagree with everybody to a degree, but that's how we learn. And we got to learn. We got to be okay with being wrong sometimes. And one day the world's going to get sick of us. One day the world's going to get sick of us. You can't convince me that they can't strike us. They're not striking us. They're not striking us, and it's a choice. I think the world is smart enough to understand that we are lost in our media and we're lost in our hate and our anger. And when I'm saying that, I'm not talking about one hate group. I'm talking about all the hate groups. We're lost in our hatred and we're lost in our anger. And we prioritize ourselves. And we don't give a damn about the children. Like, let's just be honest and let's just go ahead and put it out there. What we spend on education and how we vote. We couldn't give two damns about our children. We give a damn about our ego. We give a damn about our pride. We give a damn about our ideas on what's the least of the evils. But we don't give two craps about the children. So that's it, man. It's late. I got to get to sleep. I got to get up early, man. I think I got to get up. I got to get up at 4:30 tomorrow. This is crazy. I know. Master, man, boy, you got to get on that plantation. Get to picking. Get to pick. I was talking about something today. I really don't care if the what are the name of these groups? So I guess the neoliberals are fighting the fascists. And personally, I don't care. I think you're both crazy. You're nuts. You don't love me. You don't love my people. When I by people, I mean human beings. You both want to invade the world and destroy a lot of stuff. So whenever you neoliberals and fascists and your self-righteous arguments and ripping down statues and building statues up, whenever y'all get done with that, just tell me which one of you ignorant people I need to turn my cotton bag into. That's it. I'm done. Y'all have a good night.